at some analysis then ahead of this evening. We're joined by political analyst Professor Sethulego Matebisi. Professor Matebisi, good evening to you and thanks for your time. Look, Bulemabe has a point. The ANC not only has to comply with the COVID-19 restrictions, it also has to be seen to be leading where this is concerned. Talk to me about how managing then the dynamics of tonight, how important that's going to be, because I would imagine from their perspective, the last thing they want to be seen is chasing away their devoted members from what is a gathering that they have every right to be attending or to be part of.
Yeah, good evening, Captain. Good evening, South Africans. This is one of the issues where I think I still want to find an organization globally that has to do trade-offs each and every day like the African National Congress. And I think I really liked what the spokesperson of the ANC indicated. They need to set an example. And it's not too late for the African National Congress. With all the own goals that they've been scoring, now is the time that they should set the tone. And Katie and the viewers, perhaps briefly, we should also look at the timing. And I think the ANC is garnering for maximum impact. The Democratic Alliance and the EFF have already launched their manifestos over the weekend. I think they had to compete with the entertainment that South Africans have over weekends. And the African National Congress was perhaps very clever in terms of going for a Monday evening.
It is also very much about the optics, right? So if we think about where this country has been over the last 18 months, what we have had is the president addressing the nation in his capacity as president of South Africa, similar time frames in the evening. They know that generally they've been able to get, at least from the president's view, he's been able to get the attention of South Africans at that time. So it's certainly not lost on me that this was the choice for the election of the manifesto launch.
Yes, most definitely. I mean, if you look at the pressure, tremendous pressure that the ANC president is under currently, and then you also take, you know, if you took the context within which the African National Congress is going to contest these elections, I think definitely the ANC is under tremendous pressure. And also the issue of for them selecting Tshwane, because we know what happened in 2016 with the battle for the metro, so all your urban municipal councils where the ANC, you know, had a significant battle with your leading opposition parties like the Democratic Alliance and to a certain extent the EFF. So the African National Congress, I think today, and for me, because manifestos, people will often ask what impact do they have. South Africans have already made up their minds. It is your typical middle class person perhaps that will be swayed by an election manifesto, but I do not foresee where these manifestos will have a significant impact on the outcome of the elections. But fact of the matter is, I think what is going to happen for the African National Congress is perhaps to restore confidence in the electorate, and not only their own members, but also South Africans at large, to say we are a party in a governing party. We are facing challenges, and this is how we are going to deal with those challenges. But what will be problematic for me is if the president comes and make promises again about jobs. I think this is something that the ANC have been playing around, and we have to ask jobs for who. Is it going to be jobs for pals within the ANC again? Because this is a huge problem for the youth of South Africa, even their own members of the African National Congress.
Professor Matebisi, I perhaps just want to wrap up with this issue with you. You talked about the significance of Tshwane, bearing in mind the last local election results. Tshwane is also the province recently that has had the highest number of complaints in as far as the candidate lists and what the final lists have looked like. So when you look at what could and is likely to happen today, do you think that there could potentially be any tensions to manage from that front? Because we have seen several wards actually march to Luthuli House and hand over memorandums.
Yes, if you look at all these complaints and together with the voter turnout will have a significant impact on the proportion of votes that the African National Congress will get. But I think I've seen it in the past. Perhaps it will all depend on how the election machinery of the African National Congress will deal with these concerns. I think they will perhaps go back to all the areas that there has been concerns to say, we do apologize for the chaos that exists, and we will deal with that. And the ANC have been good to promise that they will deal with issues after the elections, but 5 years down the lane, it's the same problem. But if they don't respond to the grievances, those grievances will come to haunt the African National Congress. And perhaps this is also an opportunity to allay the fears of those disgruntled members within the African National Congress in the Tshwane metropole area.
Thank you so much, Professor Matebisi. Of course, Newzroom Afrika will have full coverage of that election manifesto launch by the ANC. We'll bring you all of the proceedings live. And